thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, as we always do, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. While you're there, buy the new release, the new children's book. It's Libation Time, a children's guide to the ancestors. Again, make sure you guys cop that. Go to dynastymirror.com and also cop the gear. This is the Black Love or Die Trying shirt. So once again, when you go to dynastymirror.com, buy some merchandise, buy some books, please support. Also, while you're there, join the email list. Again, join the email list so you guys can stay up to date in regards to what's going on with the brand. Like, you guys will ask me, hey, Dynasty, when is this coming down the line? Or I didn't know you had tours. Basically, I post everything on social media. And then once you join the email list, you'll also get updates there as well. So there should be no confusion in regards to what I'm doing. So everyone, thank you so much. Also, like, share, and subscribe. As you come into the chat room, make sure you hit that like button. Again, make sure you hit that like button as you come into the chat room. And then become a monthly Patreon, patreon.com, search for Huru. Again, become a monthly Patreon. Why do I say that? It isn't, we don't have huge budgets. We don't have the backing of huge corporations. So, if you really enjoy this content, if you got love for Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Again, if you love Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Become a monthly Patreon, or at the very least, buy some merchandise. So if you're like, hey, Dynasty, I need some tangibles. Okay, well, go to dynastymirror.com and buy some tangibles. So without further ado, we have Brother Black Ambassadors on with us today. And today's topic is, has new Black media already sold out? Part 2. This is part 2. And Black Ambassadors, he said he did some research. He's going to bring some facts. In about 30 minutes, we'll open up the phone lines for people to call in and, say whatever they need to say and add to the discussion. All right, go ahead, Black Ambassadors.
Yo, of course. Yo, shout outs to you, first of all. Shout outs to Real Black Media. It's Libation Time. So shout outs to the book. And shout outs to many different types of content that you have, whether it's the novels, whether it's the channel, and whether it's the brothers and sisters also in the audience. I see Nat Neezy in the building, also Black Media. So I just want to give shout outs to our actual Black media that's out here doing what needs to be done by any means necessary. So I know y'all had this conversation last time. So I want to kind of come in at a different angle, because last time it was vastly different. And the conversation started to be orientated based on one, let's just say, one direction, right?
Right, okay.
One individual versus the entirety of everything, right?
Right.
And I think, if we look at where we're going as far as Black media, you got Abibi Toomey,
Right.
This is a very good platform. This is, one of the things I try to remember is that we are not on our platform. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
We don't own this, right?
Sure.
So we don't want to be leaving the plantation and, running away from masters only to be mastered by somebody else's algorithm. And I think at this point, we might be mastered by algorithms. So meaning that if we see a video and we say, hey, that doesn't get that many likes, or hey, people aren't supporting it, I'm trying to figure out where you draw the line from. People intentionally take down your videos. So when do they stop, or when did they start de-liking your videos, So we don't know what's really going on. But I will know for the most part that everybody has a journey. I wasn't always in consciousness, and some people's platform were basically the breadcrumbs that at one point I was like, yo, I'm at a different stage. So I'm going to move from this platform. But that platform in which I utilized before was the path that built me towards where I am today. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I almost, like, even you got massive amounts of things that go on outside of the platform. And I think it came a long way from what it was when I remember seeing you in the village and you was going out in the middle of nowhere, just having long interviews, to where you are now today, from being an actual citizen of the nation of Nigeria. So it's all a development. And I think sometimes, it's very important for us to, of course, grow with channels, grow with Black media, grow with the content, of course, reach out and assist in actually having better quality content. I've actually circled back around. I did things to look at the diaspora channel. There's massive amounts of content on there, actually. Like, I didn't know that. I went back to it. I was in the early days rocking with it. And when I circled back around, I'm like, damn, there's shit from Africa. There's about shit about don't eat apple pies, don't eat ice cream, and people breaking that down. So there's many different characters, yeah? And a lot of times people move in their own ways and own directions. But from there, I see massive amounts of people from different platforms come under one platform and provide a good amount of content. So I think at the end of the day, it's stages to everything. And some people are going to be reporters, and some people are going to be revolutionaries at the same time. And some people are just going to be one zone, and that's all they do. And that's completely fine. And I think we have to, like I said, focus on African-centered or Black-centered media and build on that. And if we go in that direction, then we can get a lot of things done, because I believe that there is a lot of good content out there. There are a lot of Black people actually taking charge of their own narratives, their own stories, their own platforms, from you, from African Tigress, from all the people we know, African Superstar. And then they have many different types of avenues of people that like that content that would support it. You dig what I'm saying? So there's way more. And I don't mean no disrespect, but there's more other people doing African Tigress, doing African Superstar, doing the Diaspora channel than doing the ADOS channel, right? And there's a larger number of that and people going in that direction. And plus, at the end of the day, we will build and they shall come. So I think that's something that we just need to focus on a little bit more. And like I said, like I brought to you earlier just a second ago, right? When I was saying that sometimes we're not on our own platform. Are we on Bobby Toomey? Are we really on there? Are we supporting it though?
I'm on there.
No, not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Well,
in general, right?
Let me say this and back up for a second. I could be doing more. Also, I'm trying to do more on Black Junction too. I'm trying to get in contact with their owners. Like, I mean, we got our own platforms. Black Junction's nice, Abatumi's nice, but
Black Junction, what's it called? Black Junction, like you just said, Black Junction TV. You got Abimi Toomey. You had a sister who had X on Demand. So it was like, creators, script writers, and film producers that put the content on it. It was like a Black Netflix, but mixed with a Twitter also. So you could also comment and do live chats about the video content on there. I'm still subscribed to it. And though there's not much uploaded content to it, right? We need more content creators. We need more people to join into the space. We need more people to actually galvanize and be empowered by being a videographer, being an editor, being a, 2D animation, 3D animation, right? So we have to actually build the, platforms and build the distribution and build the publishing to do it. So I think we're going in that direction, right? And we just have to keep going and going and going and going. Because for a long time, we sat in a stagnant space where we were like, they don't do this, they don't do this. And then now we have basically trailblazers to say, hey, how about I do it? And then they taking up that actual mission to do it. So we just need to promote those individuals, assist those individuals. And I think we'll be going in a positive direction. I feel like we are from what I'm looking at. And there's no information that somebody can provide to me unless they do have it, showing that we're not and we're going backwards. We're not doing that for ourselves. You feel what I'm saying?
All right. Guys, hit that like button. Let's see here. Dynas, you're hardworking, bro. Thank you. Exactly. I try.
Exactly. So somebody, that means it's like, wow, algorithms are the new overseers. Yeah. So we have to make sure we don't get, we out here getting, COINTELPRO'd by algorithms and actually believing like, some people get on the YouTube space and then they're arguing with the comment section. Like, bro, you don't know who that is in the comment section,
Right.
Unless you know that brother like one-on-one or that sister one-on-one, you don't know who it is, right? So the important part is staying on your game, staying on your square, and staying focused. So like I said, whether it's your platform, bro, how many people have you linked up with outside of just being on this tube? Right. It's been massive amounts of people, right? Same thing as Brandon. Brandon, Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, has got our Africa plan, right? So there's many things that people have and they've been doing and they're moving in direction too. So that's Black media right there, or whatever you want to call it, Pan-African media, right? Black-centered media. I'm cool with whatever name you got. Now, the question is, did they sell out? Like, meaning like, did the Black media already sell out? I don't know what them fools is doing over there. I don't know what that means. I know what Dynasty Man does. I know what we do. And if we produce better content, right? And if we figure out the way to galvanize the people, then we can do it. But sometimes, like I think Lou Major said, sometimes people content be whack. And they don't really, work on developing that content. And that's okay, because everybody's learning this space and learning how to create content. I watched O'Shea. He got the little club thing where it's like Ugali or Uganda club mix. So he's got a club jam. He's got a badass, what is it called, director and an editor. So his content is getting 10 times better as far as, what is it? I don't know how to pronounce that channel he got. It's like King Kandala. Yeah, that one. That one is lit. I circled back around and was checking out that one the other day, and I sent it to a couple people, and they love it. So all this positive information, all this, what you call pro-Black, pro-Pan-Africanist, whatever you want to call it, the content is being produced. It's day by day. How many times do you get on this channel? Like, what you do, 2 times a day, 3 times a day?
Yeah, I do my morning motivationals and then at least 2 streams.
Come on. And then, all right, ask yourself the question, 10 years ago, what was it?
Zero.
BET? You know what I'm saying?
It was zero. But you're right. It was BET, MTV, and BET, MTV, and
And was there name one channel that was actually bridging the gap to Africa too? Like, I mean, when we look at media in the continent, it was BBC,
right.
National Geographic,
Al Jazeera,
and then that's all terrible, right?
Right.
But now we got our own. We got this channel, and we've got many other channels I named, and there's so much more that I haven't been able to name that's out there also that's doing the thing. A diaspora channel, so we got all these people doing positive things, putting out content, and then I'll show. For sure, they're going to grow. Is that your playback?
Say that one time.
I heard playback. So
no. We're good.
Okay. So they're going to constantly grow, and they're going to continue to move forward. Like everybody, even if you look at Phil Scott, he's been evolving throughout this actual whole process.
Right.
And if you haven't seen it, then you just don't know, and that's completely fine. A lot of people just don't know, but go check early days in and now. And the same thing goes for other content creators. They grow in the level of their awareness and how they are marketing or how they're publishing and distributing their content. So that's where we have to give it time to. And then by supporting It's Libation Time, by supporting Get Off Your Ass and Cold Call, you support the channel. You support the channel. You always got that choice. Prepared. Here we go.
They all here.
Motivation 101.
They're all here.
Kingly heads, kingly hair. Like all these things are actually supporting content. And like I even said before, right? Here we go. I'll give you another one. What comics like yours or children books like yours did we have before?
Didn't have
one.
Not that
I'm thinking, like anybody in the audience knows, write something that you've seen, the African stories, not even just the characters being Black and African, but also the actual content of an African story. Like, well, I'm trying to figure out, like, where did we see that before? So this is Black media doing their thing once again, right? Making massive amounts of groundwork and like I said, building that story. So I know why everything ain't perfect. There's improvements and room for improvement. And if anybody picked up what O'Shea said last time, what did he say? He said, I accept the challenge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like, look, I hear you. It's a lot of rah-rah and static in between, right? But I hear the gist of what you're saying. And I'm going to look to take on that challenge and improve and figure out ways to make it better and ways to make it more digestible and ways to make it grow and make it more likable. And I'll figure it out. It's an algorithm. They figured us out through that algorithm. So why is it that we can't turn around and figure out our own people, figure out our own population? Then that means we slacking. If you're so conscious and you can't figure out to bridge the gap between you and your people and where they at and where they need to go, then you ain't shit.
Right.
You understand? They're not to blame because you said they don't know nothing. You don't want to blame. You know everything, right? So you should be the smartest. You should be the smartest one, but you end up being the dumbest one because you can't even lead your people nowhere.
Right.
So we have to figure that out and take on that task. And I think people are mapping that out, and the channels are growing, and people are going in a positive direction.
Let's see here. Indigenous TV, thank you for the super chat. What do you brothers think about the Black manosphere, its growth and overall impact, and do you consider yourselves members of it? O'Shea was really the king of the Black manosphere, but O'Shea's going in a completely different direction now. I remember just 2-3 years ago being on the shows with O'Shea, be 20 of us just Sunday rumbling.
But see, there you go.
I was saying the manosphere has changed.
Exactly. And you see, that's going, you see the growth. Remember, you said you see where it was. And look at where O'Shea is now, bro. It's like a vast difference, yeah?
Right.
It's vastly different than where he was. And that's a part of growth. And you see that growth happening with the brother. And even outside of it is reached into other areas of reality where he's been able to do other things. I know Lou Major was speaking about he has this kings thing, like kings coming together and stuff like that. So that's far from, I don't have nothing to say bad or negative or nothing about no manosphere, right? I think they're creating their own realm, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And then it will grow, it will develop, it will evolve, right? At a certain point, some members will stay, some people will go, and then some people will demand more out of it. And that's how it goes. Remember when people started first talking on social media? People was like mad, bugged out, cursing at each other, wilding, because they never shared opinions and they never spoke to each other about something that was more serious than, the weather and sports. But as you've seen later on, the discourse has been able to not say evolve perfectly, but it's vastly different from what it used to be at the beginning stages. So like you said, that rumble in the what was it? Rumble what?
So Sunday Rumble.
Sunday Rumbles. That used to be probably real ignorant. I don't know. I wasn't too sure.
I was super ignorant.
So now it's far from being that now. So that's why I said, like, the new Black media, has it sold out? I would say that it's growing and it's evolving because it's not the same old traditional one. We not BET. No disrespect. We not Ebony magazine. No disrespect, right?
You said what magazine? What magazine?
Ebony.
Ebony doesn't exist anymore.
What's that?
Ebony doesn't exist anymore. Ebony or Jet.
Boom. So yeah. Right. So all those dudes are almost gone, right? And for the most part, right? Who's listened to like what Don Lemon and who listened to really
nobody
like out of the new generation?
You know what's crazy? Not to cut you off. There was it's crazy. I think more people listen to these because Black conservatives on YouTube than they do like the Don Lemons. Like I don't understand how Don Lemon's even still on TV. Not to hate, but I'm just
no.
Yeah.
Well, it's still mainstream and they still got their advertising dollars and they're still going to run their same program. They're like, what's it called? They're like combustible engine cars. They're phasing out while EVs are coming through. They're still going to try to go around. They're still trying to stay around. So,
you see what happened to Tavis Smiley?
Yep.
Pretty much done.
So these dudes is like those platforms are even being dumped, right? So we got to be, and then we still got our own wave, right? And we just still, and the good thing about BB To Me and Black Junction TV is, bro, like, here we go. We got the producers. We had that before, right? Like, let's say certain people were being put on BET as a producer, right? And they were producing content, let's say as an example. And then they were like, okay, cool. Now it's in a section where, okay, yeah, we still got producers now. We're connecting with Africa. We're opening our eyes and looking at America even differently, even if you decide to stay in or whatever. And then you're looking at Africa differently because we're seeing more on the continent. You got Wadi Ma, you got all this, you got Nappy Briggs. You got all these people out here producing massive amounts of content. And the people that were there before was Gates, Henry Gates going to Africa, talking about whatever he was talking about. Right? That was the story before. We were forced to read it in some small cert of like a column in a magazine about, Africa. Or we were forced to read it through the BBC or National Geographics with the babies and
with the eyes and the eyes and the big belly.
All that. And now, and that was when Black media was around, quote unquote, right? And Empire and Power or whatever it may be. But now, like I said, we've been able to evolve. Look, Dame Dash got even his own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even in the American spheres, you got Tyler. What's his name? Excuse me.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. He got his own joints, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying it's the best and that's where we should go, but what you mean? There ain't a change. Like I never seen nobody. We weren't doing that before in the past. We were just on other people's platforms. Might have been producing some content to them, but we were very strict in our parameters on how we produce this content. So
hold on,
even
one second, guys. Come on, there's 126 people watching, only 57 likes. Guys, hit that like button. Please support and hit the like button. Okay, that's the least you can do. If you're not super chatting, if you're not buying a book, I mean, damn, can you hit the like button? Or go ahead, bro.
Yeah, facts. So I just want to focus the first segment of this actual episode to get people to really focus around the progress that has been made, and there does need to be more gains. But let's not take away from the massive amounts of gains that are done right now, that when you look back 10 years ago, when you look back 20 years ago, you see nothing. Like we still trying to figure out, like I said, what's the comment, what's the children book, right? And then what's the actual platform that was connecting us to Africa? Like, where is it? The only content we had was what Dr. Amos wrote, you know what I'm saying? People who have Pan-Africanist view in their novels, right? But it comes in many different forms now. It comes in podcasts. It comes in live streams. It comes in comedy. It comes in entertainment. It comes in travel vlogs. It comes in what we want to call it, like business interviews. It comes from documentaries now. All this stuff connecting us with Africans throughout the diaspora, and also, like I said, Africans on the continent. It's not like before. We got, what's her name, African Jumpstart. She got like 50 people, 50 Africans from all over the world talking about businesses and starting businesses in Africa.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So what I'm just saying is there's a lot of connection, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of networking. Do we need to rate it and see how far it is and how good it is and how it needs to improve? Yes. But nevertheless, when we look 10 years, when we look 20 years back ago, and the only thing they were selling us was the Democrats, the Democrats, the Democrats, the Democrats, the Democrats, and Democrats, and voting and voting and voting or dying. Like 10 years ago, it was vote or die. Now you got like channels like the Black Authority saying, don't vote.
Yeah, vote or
die. We out of here. We ain't doing none of that no more. We ain't doing no vote or die. We ain't doing whatever the damn slogan is.
Right.
We're saying demanding this, or we're going here and we're going to do this, and we're going to completely withdraw. So there's massive amounts of shift. And I think I want to highlight that. So when people hear it, they're like, yo, I do see the change, and I do need to support. I do need to galvanize. I do need to shift my mentality and my thinking, because as you can see, for the large part, our media is shifting and thinking entirely different, straight up. And people are paying for it.
When you say paying for it, what do you mean?
Meaning like, you know, they're supporting.
Right, exactly.
Supporting on Patreon, yeah. They're doing small micro group economics via Patreon, via super chats, or via buying products that are people selling, which I, you know, always encourage people to, if you're on channels like this, then build a product to sell with it also. Right. Because you need to, you know, that's only smart, right? And look at you. What did we say last time? You could have sold anything, like I'm that Negro. You could have showed t-shirts that said most conceited, materialistic thing. But that shirt that you got on now is
Black
bars.
Love or Die Trying. Go to dynastymere.com and get your Black Love or Die Trying shirt.
See, wait, take a pause on that, right? Black media used to be get rich or die trying.
Right.
Now you got Black Love or Die Trying. I'm thinking the messages are vastly different, and I see a shift. I'd rather rock with Black Love or Die Trying than just get rich or die trying on some 50 Cent stuff. No disrespect to 50, you know? Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That shift is happening, and I appreciate, and I can see that, and you got to speak that to the people so they can see the difference, right? Because they'll start feeling like, damn, you right. Ain't nothing around. They failing us, Black media. No, they not. You see all these people out here, you risk mad things to do what you do. You know, African Superstar, she risked a lot to do what she does. Right. A lot of people risk a lot of things that people who are not content creators, who don't get on these platforms and talk, might understand that people risk by putting their neck out, putting their voice out, speaking up, and being a trailblazer.
Right.
And who'd you go out there with, Donis? Did Jesse Jackson, Obama, or anybody give you support to go to Nigeria?
Hell no.
I don't even think anybody in Nigeria did that. You
No.
had to go there and you built those relationships.
Right.
So once again, that was in media. That was like, bro, I'm trying to figure out when you ever seen that before. Like outside of that, somebody's going to say it's impossible outside of the content that you've been able to archive, that you've been able to put in front of people and say, wow. And then people have been able to go on trips there with you and seen it in the flesh. Like, this is not no game. This is real.
Exactly.
So, and then see the love and see the appreciation, see the connectivity, feel the vibes, right? So that content in itself will shift, right? You're like Wakanda, but not just one day at the movie theater and then and then we fight each other. Like, you're the constant replay of Wakanda. People get to see again and again and play it out itself and then see things that are possible that they thought were impossible prior to that. Like, you're on some futuristic stuff where you're getting things done. And a good amount of other people out here doing that also. So I like to highlight that because yes, last time the channel was something else. And I'm not disrespecting none of that because maybe it was positive, maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know everything, but I do know that Black media has done a lot and is doing a lot. Even Brandon's how-to videos, right? And it inspired a lot of people.
Absolutely, guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. We're going to open up the lines. If you guys want to call in and ask a question, the email is uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. Again, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. If you want to call in and ask a question, let's see here. Rob Green. Shout out to Rob Green, everybody. Just read through It's Libation Time with my little cousin. Excellent book. Excellent work to both you and Yashar. Beautiful drawings. Can't wait for a language book. Rob Green, thank you for the support, brother. Thank you for the support. So
that's it right there.
Yeah, that's it right there. If you guys want to call in, send me an email, and I will send the link over to you all so we could further this discussion, everybody. Hopefully, people who are watching, you're not affected by the hurricane. We're getting some of those. We're getting some of the, I don't want to say aftermath, but some of the residuals of the hurricane here in Atlanta. It's been raining all day today. It's been very cloudy, 68 degrees. So it's kind of cool. So, yeah, we're going to get some of that.
And I want to add something real quick, if you don't mind, D.
Go ahead. Take time. Go ahead.
Like I said, all these people that are on these platforms are creating content, whether they're Phil Scott, whether they're Pan-Africanists, whether blah, 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 blah. They're creating content, right? And I want to just say something right here that Dr. Amos N. Wilson says, your consciousness creates your world. And he says this, and it's going to be short. He says, therefore, man's consciousness is a creative act, and the kind of consciousness you have will determine the kind of world you create. Consequently, when you look at the world that we live in as African people, we must recognize to a great extent, it is not a world of our own creation. It is a world that has been created by the kind of consciousness we have permitted to be instilled in us as a people, end quote. So what I'm saying is, most of the content that you see now, your platform, all the other platforms that have been named, is a creative process of us creating our own narratives. Whether some view as negative and positive, you need both in this world. There is no positive without a negative. Right. You need, like, they exist. That's a holistic perspective. We need to stop being European and think only positive and only negative. Chinese people over here thinking yin and yang, and they whipping the shit out of Europeans, right? So when we look at it as that, the positive and negative are necessary, right? Some people need to see the negative in order to gain the positivity in comparison. Like, damn, you're right. It is effed up in America. Dang, it's again and again and again. And then having that positive confirmation to put them in it. I mean, life is built like that. It is structured like that. It's not only the positive that is necessary. So in going forward, we create our own consciousness, and the content which you put out, the content that African Superstar puts out, all these other people are creating their own content and their own narrative and then trailblazing their own directions. I think that's very valuable. I think there's a lot of stuff done, because when I say produce the content that gave you the same type of emphasis, the same type of motivation, and the same type of love for being Black and African, you can't give me one goddamn fucking channel or one book that did it before 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Man,
One day.
I never really looked at it like that. We're really trailblazers.
Of course you are. Of course you guys are. But y'all don't hear that about yourselves. Y'all hear all this other dumb stuff, like everybody else come in with their opinions about how they think they could take over the world. But what I'm saying is that I don't need to talk about that. Each and every single one of the persons that I know, whether it's you, whether all these content creators, yes, you are trailblazers, because I'm asking for the same type of evidence. Produce it, the same type of evidence. So if somebody's correlating a brother who went from working in corporate America to ending up doing businesses, establishing different types of ventures, and being able to gain citizenship in a country where he had no connectivity to, and was able to be not only gaining citizenship, but being loved, respected, and appreciated and honored within that community and culture. Where do you see that archive out of anywhere else? Look, no disrespect. I love W.E. Du Bois. He didn't even get that when he returned. And nobody even gets to see that. You just get to hear it about it in a book or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, right. Here's W.E. Du Bois or whoever it may have been. Here's his shrine. He went to Ghana or whatever place he went to. And that's all you know. Marcus Garvey didn't even get to go back to the continent.
Right.
Right?
Kind of shift topics a little bit. Why didn't he go back? What happened? Do you know?
Well, no. I wouldn't speak on that. I wouldn't be able to break it down. I don't know enough about like why he did or didn't go back. I think he built up so big in the West. Let me not spew our ignorance. So let me defer to somebody who's a Garveyite and knows it in vast amount of detail that man's
life. Debbie Owusu, Igbo Kwenu. I just sent you the link. Debbie, I just sent you the link to go ahead and call in. So guys, make sure you hit that like button. And once again, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Everybody hit that like button. Debbie, I just sent the link. So we are waiting for you. Nubian Queen Kasson. Chez La Fani.
Oh.
So
what was it called? And you know, when I've looked to Nigeria too, when it comes down to music video and cinema, I mean, you've seen great movies like Lionheart. That was produced in Nigeria.
Lionheart was a good movie. Lionheart.
Man, Lionheart was tough. That was my best movie of that year, period. And I like how they did a mix of African language and they mixed in the English. Man, that just was on point, Lionheart.
Yeah, Lionheart was good. That was a good movie.
Netflix was like trying to get it. You know, they were like, "Oh man, that just is tough. Let's get it."
It's on Netflix.
No. But what I'm saying is, it wasn't made by Netflix. They put it under their roster after they seen the production. So, come on. And then, okay, here we go again. What was Nollywood looking like 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Right. See, what we thinking about Nollywood? What we just think? I mean, when we think about black media, what we just thinking about? Like America and BET? Come on, people.
Right. BET.
Nollywood is number two. Number two, right after Bollywood. And I say it's number one because I don't care about Bollywood. So, I mean, right there, we have one of the most world's known, according to everybody else in the world, they know Nigeria's popping. Nollywood is popping, right? So what about that black media? Is that not black media or something?
That's black media.
Okay, so did Nollywood sell out or something that I don't know? Heck no. And it still has much room to grow. And just like everything else we do. Yo, what up, Cassie?
Hey.
Cassie, are you Ghanaian or are you Igbo?
I'm neither.
Oh, my bad. Just Owusu.
So no, yeah. No, sorry, my bad. I thought you said something else. Yes, I'm Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yeah. But just to break off.
My bad. I thought that was an Igbo last name. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Just to break off your point, yeah, even with Nollywood, there was a point where Nollywood was getting a lot of support. I think it's weaned down a little bit because they're trying to become more westernized. They're basically trying to like go global, and I feel like that's an issue. But even like on this whole platform, even on YouTube, I feel like we're kind of guilty of this as well, because right now we're watching this for free. yes, Dynast is going to get a, I don't know how much he's going to get, but he's going to get something from this. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like we're doing enough to really support these people as much as we say we are. Because let's be honest, if Dynast was talking about like different things, like if Dynast was tap dancing and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
yeah. If I was tap
he
dancing,
would
yeah.
he
Oh
would get
yeah.
all those sponsorships by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
he, like he, someone was saying, oh, don't they have TV, like black TV media station? And I was like, do you know how many sponsors you have to get to even get to that level? First and foremost, like, it's not that the sponsors aren't there, but if you're not gonna be on their code and say the things that they support, do you honestly think that they're not just gonna drop you in 2 seconds? So I, like, again, there is the negative media out there, the negative black media out there that's doing really, really, really extremely well. I just feel like us who really say that we're really about this positive black media definitely need to do a little bit more in terms of actual support. And I know with black people, like sometimes, like we really don't want to be cashing out, let's say, but we really do have to show more than just, oh my gosh, I support you. Like, you're so awesome. Like, we really got to start whatever it is. We really need to be there. I've noticed that the support is really not there. I mean, I don't want to be completely negative, so definitely things are changing, but I don't know. It's really kind of sad.
Actually, I think and this is what I'm saying. We got to change. We got to maybe possibly work towards changing our mentality. Well, I mean, sometimes we're not even realistic about shit, right? If we just said 10 years ago, we're looking at Africa with the titties out and the babies with the flower on their head and mud huts, right? And then we get to what we get today with Wadi Ma showing apartment complexes, people moving back to the continent to build all of this stuff. If we get to that in a span of how many years, right? And how long have we been, the gates have been flooded with all the buffoonery and all the propaganda and all the black pathology, right? So you can't make an assumption if, like, case in point, you're like, well, if it's WAP, then it will get mad views. Bro, it's a battle, it's a fight. What you think? Dinah should turn on the camera and then everything changed and then we like got Wakanda? That doesn't make any sense. Like, you think we're gonna watch Wakanda once and the next thing you know, we're mining vibranium? Like, how does that work? How do you think that works in your head? How, Sway? That's what I'm asking. How do you go from that one paradigm and then do a quantum leap into the other? It's work and dedication. You have to be just as persistent, just as serious, just as intentional, just as strategic as the opposition in order to elevate your people into that paradigm. If you're not, you're slacking. And if you think anything else is going to happen, then you're slacking too. I do WAP, I'm going to get paid by somebody else millions of dollars. I do something empowerment, I'm not going to get paid millions of dollars for that. That's how it's set up. So you got to figure out a way how to beat that, how to destroy that, how to disable that, how to manipulate that, how to strategize against it. If you don't, then what you going to do? Just be like upset or something? That's not how things should work. We should look at it in a way where we say, how? And it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Come on, be honest with yourself, Diana. How much content did you hear negative about Africa for so goddamn long?
The majority of it was negative for years.
Exactly. For years, right? Like, bro, you'd be like, yo, I didn't hear nothing good about Africa till I was like 27. So that's 27 years straight of hardcore garbage produced by BBC, National, but that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be fighting us. They've always been fighting us like that. Now, what are we going to do about it? And then what we decided to do about it is all the platforms and channels in which we just spoke about. In order to get it, it should be further. Well, we got to put in more work. As the sister said, we got to support more. As O'Shea said, we got to take up challenges to make more content, make it more efficient, more effective. Ask anybody or try to figure out yourself, Dinus, where somebody actually wrote a script about an actual pro-positive black movie like Spook Who Sat by the Door or Marcus Garvey. Ain't nobody trying to put in that serious work. Not yet. Right?
I mean,
So So we gotta put in that. Oh wait, let me just finish this point real quick. We gotta put in that work, right? And then we gotta change people's mind, like the sister said about Nigeria, and they're trying to become global. Look, that's the dumbest thing we could ever say, because Africans sit probably well beyond 1 billion people in itself, right?
All right.
That is global, right? But sometimes we get it backward, like Dr. Amos Wilson said. So we trying to sell the Europeans like they're the globe. They're not. They're a small fraction of the globe. Asians are like goddamn 60% of the human species. They're like dumb deep, right? And China focused on China and decided if they get popular amongst 4 billion people, then they good. That's everybody. They don't need 300 or 600 in Europe compared to 1.4 billion. So we have to internalize and focus on ourselves a little bit more. But that's okay. That's what they're supposed to do. So we're supposed to go into Nollywood and take it over. That's why I'm, linking up with people, and we're going to actually be building production houses in Nigeria. I ain't complaining. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to be crying and whining about what Black people need to do. I'm going to show you. I'm going to roll up my sleeves, focus, concentrate, strategize, and improvise. And that's what all these brothers and sisters are out here doing on the channel. So we need to highlight that and support that.
Cassie?
Oh, production houses in Nigeria. That's sick. That's honestly really crazy. I do remember a couple years ago, I don't remember what it was, but there was this like African superhero. It wasn't Black Panther, but there was this other African superhero. I know in the 90s, they really had that popping. Like, they need to bring that back, because I don't know what's going on right now.
What was it? It was like what again?
It was an African superhero.
Okay, bad.
Like,
Dynasty Man?
I don't know.
No. I was saying the superhero was you, though.
Okay.
Yeah, like, because honestly, like, I guess most of the content that I've at least seen with this whole African thing have been towards older people, or at least people who are like in their 20s and over. So maybe we just need to start them off really, really young. And obviously, yes, Dynasty is doing that, which is great. But like we definitely need more just geared towards children, period, I'd say.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, I think there needs to be way more, children content. And that's why I love what he's started to do and the content he started to produce for the kids. And I think if we just keep moving there, the spirit is to be revolutionary. The spirit is to look at progress, measure it up, not by things you see in the comments. I don't care about that. Not by how many likes you get, but where were we 10 years ago? And where are we now? Measure that up. And once you start doing the calculations, you'll say, wow, damn, I didn't see none of that before. So if you're 10 years in development, why do you think, okay, come on. Tesla doesn't think that he's going to gain, no matter how, I think he's been doing Tesla for about 2 decades, and he's still gained like 3% of the market, 2% of the market.
Elon Musk.
He's not like, and so he's not like, oh, I can't believe EVs didn't take over the world yet. Like, come on, bro. They just came into the game. Yeah, but look where we were before, where we were like selling zero and we couldn't even produce it, to where we are now. It makes sense. And you take the same from where we are before, right? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and where we are now. It's vastly different. There's no more vote or die, none of that stuff.
Right.
We're just trailblazing. And I think that's a big thing that you just line up and say, that is a massive amount of difference. But sometimes some of us are so advanced in our growth, in our evolution, right? We're like, damn, I want more. It's like, damn, why aren't we further? And I feel that. I feel that energy too. But you have to just look at where we were and where we're going, and then bring that same spirit and energy and make it like reality. Like, okay, if we need to go somewhere, then create that lane. Make it happen. Get together, garner some people, create that production house. Like, like I said, the production house is not for me to be, a big movie star. It's for me to utilize the actual talent that's in Nigeria. Massive amounts of people of talent. I don't need to be doing no damn videography. I need to build an institution that people could go and be video programmers, graphics designers, VFX, when they could do 2D, 3D animation, build a technology center so that they can actually facilitate the skill set that they have and utilize the equipment and the material and then the actual organization to actually distribute, publish, and broadcast. So roll up the sleeves and we got to do it. Got to get with brothers and build it and figure it out and make it happen. So I think the same thing is with everything else. If you feel like that and somebody's listening and they're like, hey, man, I'm not that talented. There's something you're talented in, and you could be in the game too.
All right.
Or you could just support like you do now. Support the channel, support with likes, support with whatever you got, all your energy. We need all hands on deck in any shape, form, or fashion. I'm not going to discriminate. I'm not going to be mad at somebody because they're not, like I said, they ain't got the knife and the gun. As long as they threw a rock or a pebble, I'm good with that. Like whatever you got, get into the game, and then we're in. But when you look at where we came from, there's vast amounts of change. Go ahead, sister.
I do like your point, and I definitely, just listening to what you said, you definitely did touch upon a couple of things. I do like how now I can kind of see the bigger picture, because at first, I guess I was coming off of more of a negative mindset of why isn't this here? Why isn't this there? Like, why aren't people doing this and that? But you definitely are right. Like, it definitely starts with a change of mindset to a more positive mindset, that I think that some of us just have our spirits broken because we haven't seen it before, or we've seen others try it and they haven't succeeded. So we're just kind of like, oh, well, that didn't work, so who cares? But I definitely think that more of us definitely need to be more positive. And if it's a matter of, okay, well, no one has done this before, like, okay, well, how can we get that started? Like, if I can't do this myself, how can I connect with someone else who we could collaborate on a project and actually do this? How can we start, I guess, planting some seeds and really investing into things that we want to see? So thank you so much for that, because that definitely, I'm really gonna really sit and think about it. And I definitely see right now that my mind has been I've been focusing too much on other things that I guess don't matter as much, and been complaining about, okay, well, why don't I see this and why don't I see that? But maybe, who knows, maybe those things are even in the grounds and they're starting right now. So yeah.
No, I want to say something too. What you said about when you started in the negative, that's not a bad thing, because watch this. Let's say you started out in the positive, right? And you were like, I'm going to go out and I'm positive, pro-Africa, let's do it. And then I'm like, yo, Cassie, what you doing? And you're like, I'm positive, I'm out here. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but what are you going to do, right? But watch this. When you started out in the negative, right, you said, well, this needs to be done and this needs to be done. Okay, so now you know what needs to be done, because you're saying these are the bad negative aspects. And now when you move your mentality in the positive, you know what to take care of. Because you were acknowledging the negative, you said things like, hey, look, there could be better content. More people could do this. Okay, roger that. So now when it says, okay, now move your mind into the positive. Now I say, what's the agenda? Well, dummy, it's to improve what I said was wrong. Okay, then get to work. So you see what I'm saying? Only from you being in that area of knowing what was wrong and things needed to be improved, and what it's just, let's you say what they usually say is constructive criticism, right? And then you took that, and then now let's shift it into the mentality of let's roll up our sleeves and get it done. And now you know what needs to be done. So you're not just out here doing things that are already been done and nobody asked for and probably won't be efficient and effective. Now you're like, well, I think these areas need to, like, case in point, you acknowledged Nollywood was good to go, but you said, look, they're trying to go to global and I don't think that's good. Good. Okay, now move to a positive. How do you change that from happening? Okay, let's get to work on that. Now we can do it. Or we just gonna sit here and just let it happen. I'm not a part of that group. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to go to war. We're gonna have to figure out, how do we still keep Nollywood sovereign? How do we fortify it? How do we improvise it? How do we keep it within our grasp and our control and direct it towards what we need for sustainability and empowerment? How do we do that now? Okay, and then you map that out. And one of the things that I've came up with is, like I said, the production studio in Nigeria, this production house, Citadel, whatever you want to call it. That's what I came up with. I'm like, okay, this is one of the ways. Boom, let me figure it out. Met with some brothers and they were like, yo, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm serious. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Okay, bet, boom. And then you just start organizing like that. So I think it's very beneficial, both sides. But you just move out of that and don't stay in the negative all day and just sow and stay there and never go nowhere. I'm pretty sure Dynas was in a negative spot. That's why he took his black self to Africa. Right. Yeah, he could have just stayed there and stayed in his misery. But he decided, nah, this ain't right, and I want to get right. So let me go over here. I know what to fix. And that was, I'm going to take myself to Nigeria, and I'm going to do something that nobody ever seen before on television, nobody ever seen in the palm of their hand while they're watching the subway, or they're on the subway, or they're in their car, or at the library. They can see something like that happen right in front of their face. I think that's still underrated. It's still not really appreciated at this point. But I think the things that a YouTuber are doing are 10 years ahead of everybody. They're almost on that Kanye shit, where the things that he say is already in the future, and people really don't like them and they don't appreciate them. But when it comes later, I bet you people will appreciate them. Give it time. Marcus Garvey, if you read the history of Marcus Garvey, the only reason he was super successful in America is because he came at a crucial time in America where Americans tried and tried. They were sick or tired of being sick and tired. And at that point, when he came in, he offered something that was new and revolutionary that they never heard before, that had nothing to deal with dealing with the status quo. It said, up you mighty race, who are these people to tell you anything? And trailblaze your own destiny. And they never heard no words like that before. And they stuck to it like glue. They were like, I'm on that because I done tried this already. So I think, like I said, all the things that the YouTube is doing, all the content that it will catch on. It will catch on.
Oh, real quick, guys. In fact, continue. Guys, I need a favor from everybody who is watching. Okay, so I am raising money to sponsor 3 children in Sierra Leone, in both Sierra Leone, for their school fees. If you guys want to see the actual school, I did a video there while I was there. So I need you all who are watching this. Hold on one second. Let me share the screen real quick. Africa Personified, my nonprofit organization, is a 501c3, so your contributions are tax deductible. I need you all, okay? Hold on one second. Let me blow this up while it's on my mind. Let me make the screen bam. There we go. I need you guys to go to Ways to Help, donate. And if you're watching this, there's 200 of you guys. If you donate $2, okay, if each of you donate at least $2, I could cover the fees for the children at the school that I'm supporting. But this is the site. So I do have a 501c3. And right now we're focused on restoring the traditional temples and also building schools attached to these traditional temples. Because, you know, right now, if you look at like these private schools, they're Christian or they're Islamic. So, you know, these kids go to these Christian schools and then they're indoctrinated with Christianity, or they go to these Islamic schools and then they're indoctrinated with Islam. As far as with our traditional schools, whether it be Ifa, Voodoo, you know, there's really no, as far as the temples, there's really no formal schools attached to them. So that's something we're doing. But right now, this is me teaching, you know, I spoke to some kids, a couple, this is during Black History Month, not this past year, but the year before, in Alabama. So what we're doing, guys, there's students that I'm going to be taking care of their school fees. So if you go to africapersonified.org, ways to help, click on that donate button. Donate today. It'll bring you to the PayPal page. And if you guys give at least, there's 200 of you watching. If you give at least $2 to $3, we'll be good to go. All right, go ahead, brother.
Oh, did you want to say something, Cassie? I don't want to keep going all day.
Oh, well, I just quickly did want to just say thanks, Dynas, for everything. Like, thanks for starting this. I think you were one of the first kind of Pan-African or just African type of content that I've seen. And with your influence, I've slowly seen the light. So I definitely have seen that this type of stuff is so needed because, dare I say it, I guess I've been indoctrinated. And now it's like I've seen the light, because even on this platform before, the type of stuff that I was watching was just completely opposite from this type of stuff. So it's gone so far that I don't even need Hulu. I don't need Netflix. I don't need any of those other things. But I could definitely be here and support my brothers and sisters, and also be influenced to try to just do some of the things that they're doing as well. So it's really great actually to see. So I definitely just wanted to thank you, Dynas, because this is, I mean, I know it's a lot of work to be on here, period, but like this is so important and impactful. Like it's actually no joke. Thank you so much, because I don't know where else I would get this, to be quite honest.
No, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
See, that's what else you need. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the motivation. If somebody doesn't find that motivational, if somebody doesn't find that inspirational, and that is valid, what she said. She made a great point. Hulu, Netflix, these things. I always used to have fillers, you know, like something that fills in. But now the content that's produced, there's always something cracking. It might be some little, you know, conflicts and frictions here and there. But nevertheless, I think it's all necessary to the direction we're going. But nevertheless, it's always content out there to be watching. And even as you see during the COVID-19, I would say that African YouTubers and us and you, they kicked it up. Right. They kicked up the content creating. You know, they on there like 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Like people got off sitting, you know, doing it every once in a while to producing way more content. And I want to just say something real quick. You know, I always use the great, but I just want people to understand and focus. And the power is in our hands, right? And Dr. Amos says, and you got to remember this. Let me make this point real quick. And Dad, you remember how much we sat around always talking about?
Hey, one second, real quick, okay, hey, you guys don't need have to have a PayPal account to donate via PayPal. As long as you have a credit card, you just put your information in, and it'll send. I'll receive the donation. So I don't believe you need to actually have a PayPal account. As long as you have a credit card or a debit card, you're good to go. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you remember, like, yo, bro, Dennis, at one point I used to chill with old friends, right? And when I was reading so many books, I was reading everything. Dr. Amos Wilson, all this, right? So I was like, dang, all right, bet. So I was thinking entirely different. So I used to have friends that would sit down and they'd be like, man, you see what happened in the news today? Oh, man, and they lied in the newspaper. And I was like, yo, I had to get up and leave. I was like, yo, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm tired of talking about what somebody else always doing. What we gonna do, right? We sitting here, we got oxygen in our lungs. You know what I'm saying? We could go buy land and build our own place. Like, we could do a lot of things. What we gonna do, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to leave out of that. But nevertheless, eventually those people change their tune at a certain point, at a certain stage. So I want to say this part because it kind of is similar to that. So Dr. Amos Wilson says the power is in our hands, right? And he says, so therefore we have tremendous power. It depends upon how we align ourselves as a people and how we decide to relate to other people in the world, because they cannot have what they have unless we are who we are. That is why we don't have to spend a great deal of time always appealing to them, always analyzing them, because we can better appeal to our own sense of self and our own sense of consciousness. We waste a lot of time trying to transform them, when by transforming ourselves, they will be transformed automatically. The power is in our hands. We are not destined to be the servants of any folks. That is not the destiny of Black folks. So, end quote. And I say that to tell you that everything that we have talked about throughout the stream in the last hour, 58 minutes and 38 seconds, we have been able to describe the actual destiny be taken in the hands by particular individuals that have been setting and blazing the trail and has been revolutionary in their content creation, not only creating freaking content, but creating keyword ding, 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 tangibles. Individuals have been able to create content, tangibles, and realities, and dreams and inspirations. See, case in point, we go back to 1960. Martin Luther King is recorded on a record talking about he has a dream. Now we got Dynast in 2020 recorded on a live stream telling them about the new African dream. And actually people are following it, and people are believing in it, and people are supporting it. from not only yourself, but the other brothers and sisters that I spoke about throughout this platform. And as we get into the deep end about where we can go and what direction we can go in, remember that there's always a job, there's always a gun, there's always a photo lens, there's always a camera lens for you to pick up and get involved. The power is in your hands. It's 2020. We've came a long way from 10 years to 20 years ago. And there's much more work to do. And we got a lot more to go, but we're getting there. And I think it will be massively different in the next 10 years. So I appreciate everything that everybody does, because I'm more so like that. That's why the channel is called Black Ambassadors. I'm more diplomatic with mine. I appreciate everybody's work because I understand that it's all necessary, not just one extreme, right? Not just one brother on the channel and he know the answer for 1.4 billion Africans. That don't make any sense. Everybody's needed, all hands on deck. They all got a perspective. And unless I put somebody in the trial and convict them of being guilty for betraying us, I don't know my brother's trying to, or my sister's trying to betray us. I give them the benefit of the doubt. They're innocent till they're proven guilty. And then we could collaborate and work together on the points that we do agree with. So I work with you, I work with anybody else, and we build because our people's lives depend on it. I don't have time for silly games. I don't have time for bickering. I don't have time for accusations. I don't have time to be acting like no chicks. I don't got time for chatty patty. I ain't got time for none of that. I ain't got time for that. And this is serious. We got people that are in, Libya, that are being brutalized. We got people all over the world being brutalized. And we out here acting like chatty patty as men with testicular fluids with hairs on our balls. We got to stop playing these games, right? If I'm going to have an open conversation with you, I hit you up on the back channel, and then we talk about it differently when we come out into public. Intellectual points, speaking specifically directly at the points, and actually building instead of arguing. We don't have time for that. We're grown-ass men and our people are hurting. So, like I said, we've done a lot. And it's Black Love or Die Trying. It's Get Off Your Ass and Cold Call.
There you go.
And it's all of the other great content that you produce, my brother. And I just want to highlight that. And I want everybody to support. I want everybody to support every YouTuber that's out here even more and kick it to the next level, to the best ability that you can do right now. Just show somebody else love. Let somebody else know that they're doing great. Send love to Dinah. Send love to all these content creators because that's what our people need. They don't need none of that bickering before grown men who's supposed to be leading or grown women who's supposed to be leading the community getting on here acting like chicks. You don't see Generalist Mattis getting on the channel with Fox News acting like a little chick. You don't see Nancy Pelosi and Trump acting like little chicks. They even understand that, hey, when we go out into the public and we put ourselves in the front, we have to go about it in a certain specific way, right?
Right.
And we have to support our own platforms like a Bobby Toomey. I have to do more work. I'm guilty of that too, right? So I'm not somebody who's beyond approach or anything like that. I need to get more active on that platform also. I need to get more active. All my videos should be on Black Junction TV also. That's real talk, true story. And it's not there. I got like 30%. So I'm 70% slacking straight up. And I'll tell you that, and that's what it is. So once we start doing that, once we start focusing on it, then that's where we go. But I don't believe black media sell out because I'm not no damn freaking, chocolate-covered European. I don't believe the actual negative connotations about my own Black African people. When I look at history, we've always been fighters. We've always been in the war. We've always been engaged. Don't get it twisted. Stop listening to other people's algorithms and stop being mastered by somebody else's database. Get your own, build your own, support your own, and keep on fighting. So that's the only thing I got to say about that. And if somebody else want to go against it, then so be it. I got industries to build with my brothers and sisters. Shout outs to everybody.
Absolutely. Guys, real quick, let me share with you guys. Hold on one second. Which one is this one? Hold on here. Let me click on this real quick. Hold on one second. Guys, be patient with me. So I want to show you guys the school that I'm speaking of. Hold on one second. Let me share the screen real quick.
I remember spending another call and just like energy just plummeting.
What is
Same
that?
communities that we're reaching out to and asking them to participate in this research program because they have been
Hold on, my bad. Hold on.
are taking the brunt of this crisis.
Everyone, thank you for joining again. 1 second. I just want to pull this up real quick. Here we go. Bam. So this sister Katie actually left America. She's from Sierra Leone, moved to America, left America to start her own school in Bo, Sierra Leone.
Hello, I'm Titus the Beard.
What happened? It's weird. Hold on, let me stop that. Here we go. Okay, let me just try this again. Sorry about that, you guys. Let me try this one more time.
It's all good.
Let's see here. Share the screen. Chrome tab. Bam. Here we go. Okay, let me go in here. We're gonna blow this bad boy up. There we go. So this is during
That just coming from Toama, demanding people, family, in go welcome the brothers and sisters. So, and after that performance, cultural performance, we are now at the Chop Grammar Elementary Primary School. So, then
hold on 1 second. I actually had the opportunity to speak at the school, so here we go. Oh, God, here go. Okay, but you guys, I think you guys got the picture. You guys got the picture.
They was
Right, so,
hating.
yeah, so I'm raising money for the school to put some of the kids to pay for their yearly fees. So that's where we're at, guys. So go to africapersonified.org. If for some reason, if you don't have a PayPal account because the donations are made through PayPal, then you can Cash App it, $. It's right here at the bottom on the ticker, $, Amir Dynast, $, Amir Dynast, bottom of the ticker right there. But everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go to dynastyamir.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Amir, search for Huru. Peace.